Hello, welcome to Steve Mcdonald's Arts and Crafts, and today I'm going to try something new. I got this mould which is little skeletons heads, and it's an ice cube mould and it's made of silicone, so I really want to have a go and see if I can cast it with clear resin to see how it comes out. And I also got this little mould to make a tiny little pot with a lid that I want to see how well this comes out as well. So without too much further ado, I'm going to mix up some clear resin. I'm going to use a casting resin for this, and I'm going to pour into these moulds. Now what I have done is I've made sure this mould is very well clipped down, because it has got little bits in it. I'll show you. I'll open it. So it has got these little clips in it that will push in together, and I want it to have as tight a seal as possible. So I've made sure that those are extremely well pushed down, so hopefully that will seal it well enough to stop it flowing and running everywhere in there. I don't know if it's going to turn out, but we will see. I'll put the link to this in the description of the video, so if anybody likes it, then they can get hold of this mould. So without too much further ado, let's get on and pour some resin. So I've really mixed my resin up, and as you can see, I've mixed it up to avoid bubbles, because I really don't want big bubbles in there. There will be a few micro bubbles in there, and there's not an awful lot I can do to get rid of those without a pressure pot. It did come with a little funnel, so I am going to try it, and I'm going to pour it slowly into this funnel to see if it works. This resin might be just too thick to go in that funnel. No, it is doing it. And I'm pouring it as slow as I can, because I actually don't want it to fill with bubbles, although I'm sure there will be some trap bubbles in there somewhere. Although it is going a bit slow with this. Interesting to see how well these moulds work with that are made for ice cubes. I mean, I've bought them before for using fondant and chocolate. In fact, the resin clock that I did was made out of fondant moulds using the cogs and things. There we go. So that one's that full now, and it's come up to top. As you can see, I did make a little bit of a mess, but there you go. What are you going to do? I am messy. Hopefully that isn't going to be too bubbly inside or trap bubble, but we will see when that cures. So we'll come back to that one in a little while. And I'm just going to cast now this tiny little pot. Now I'm going to be doing this the same way as if I would do a bangle. I'm going to put some resin in here and then let it move around. And then I will probably go in it with a toothpick just to ensure that there are no trapped areas in there. Anyone that watches my videos will know that that boobity boop boop noise is the sound of my Bluetooth speaker turning off, because I didn't turn it off. And there were quite a lot of trap bubbles in there, look. And I don't really want them in there if I can avoid it. So I'm quite interested to see how this comes out, because if it comes out well, then I can make my own pot with my leftover resin to put my mica powder and things in. Okay, so that needs topping up a little bit. Hopefully any bubbles in that will come to the top. There we go. And the same for the lid. I'm just going to pop that lid on there like that, and then open it up to get down into the area that I want it, but because that is going to be full of air, I would think. Okay, so we will come back to these when they're cured. We'll have a look and see what we can do with them. these have been curing now for 24 hours, so they should be ready to demold. And to be honest, I haven't looked, so I have no idea what they're going to come out like. Hopefully, they're going to come out well. So we'll demold the little pot first, see what that looks like. Oh, I must have had a bit of air trapped in that one, because that little side's come off there. But actually, I think that's a great little pot for putting different bits and pieces in. And I will have another go at casting that again to try and get it right. But obviously, I must have had some air. But that is quite thin resin around that little screw top. But overall, I think that'll work. And this is the one I'm really interested in seeing how it's come out, because I really want to know whether the ice cube mould has been effective. So let's pull that up. Oh, there's been a tiny bit of leakage, but nothing major. And those edges that have leaked, that was quite a tight seal, but those edges that have leaked are really thin. I think they are amazing. I absolutely love those. And we can tidy those edges up, and as you can see, there is very few bubbles in them. They're not a glossy finish, but I'm not worried about that, because if I wanted to, I could just easily polish that up. And I will tidy that up. I love them. I think they've come out brilliant. I really do like those. And you could put colours in them. You could add flowers and do lots of different things. So for an ice cube tray, I think, I'm not sure how much that was. I will put the link to the description in for both of these. But I'm really pleased with how that's come out. I think that they've come out brilliantly. Let me know in the comments what you think, and if you like these videos and you'd like to learn more about tips, tricks and how to use resin for both casting and pouring pictures, check out my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and take a look at these videos.